Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Oxford High School, where the Oxford boys are swimming their final home meet against Stoney Creek. Let's see how they do.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the Argonauts bravely, the bones bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Great job, Peyton. By the way, tonight is Peyton Bailey's birthday. Happy birthday, Peyton.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and now we're going to start the final home meet of the Oxford boys 2018 season. 2019 as well. I'm still not used to that, 2019, geez. All right, so we're going to start off the meet with the 200-yard medley relay. It's going to be 4 people in each lane, and one person will swim 2 lengths of each stroke in this order. Backstroke, breaststroke, no, actually it's butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, freestyle. There we go.
All right, folks, we're going to get started with the first event, the 200-yard.
And here we go.
There's one heat in this event. As a reminder, we do ask you quiet at the start of our events, allows for fair competition, and get started by all.
All right, so Oxford has lanes 2, 4, 6, and 8. And I'll list the names once they get started. Oh, we're starting with breaststroke, backstroke. Oh my word. We're starting with backstroke. All right, in lane 2, we have Zach Allian, Jr. This is C relay. And then Cameron Mumbrew, Jr., Ethan Madison, Sr., and Kaylin Leone, Sr. In lane 4, we have Oxford's A relay with Zach Beatty leading off as a sophomore, Ben Datsko, sophomore, Carson Wolf, freshman, and Carter Pollard, Jr. And then in lane 6, we have Oxford's B relay with Nathaniel Johnston, freshman, Nolan May, sophomore, Cole Bukowski, sophomore, and Alex Olheiser, senior. In lane 8, we have Oxford's D relay with Lachlan Palmrose, senior, Matt Sabadak, sophomore, Caleb Watson, junior, and Paul DeAngelis, senior. You can see we're in the breaststroke at the moment. Now this swim meet is very significant to the Oxford boys because it's their final home meet, and it is the seniors' senior night, which means this is the night that they're honored, and it's their last meet in this pool. I don't know where leagues are going to be swum. I don't know where they're going to be held. When I was in high school, it was often held at the home pool, but I don't know where it's going to be held this year. So, it's most likely their last swim meet at home. So they're really trying to make it count. You can see there's a certain energy in the pool. They're all really excited. There's a lot of cheers, more cheers in the first event than you typically have. And Oxford's winning at the moment with Carter Pollard in lane 4. And we've won. Stoney Creek coming in second. All right, we still got people swimming, and you got everybody cheering them on to finish. It's an excellent swim by all swimmers involved. This is great. Now we're swimming against Stoney Creek at the moment, and I don't know how competitive they are in relative to Oxford, but I will try to get that information so I can share that with you guys. We have one final swimmer for Stoney Creek in lane 1, just finishing now. Great time. All right, in lane 4, that ended first with a 1:45. Now, that's extremely close to the men's varsity record. It's only 3 seconds away from the men's varsity record. That's incredibly fast, ladies and gentlemen. Oxford's A relay is really fast. So now we're heading into the next event, which is the 200 freestyle. There are 2 heats in this event. And in heat one is the slower of the 2 heats. We have all these swimmers are exhibition, which means that they're not getting any points for their teams. In lane 2, we have John Keller, Jr. from Oxford. In lane 4, we have Max Charlton, Jr. In lane 6, Austin Foster, Jr. And in lane 8, Gregory Cook, sophomore. The 200-yard freestyle, I say this every time, ladies and gentlemen, it really depends on the swimmer's likes and dislikes, whether they like this event or not. But it happens to fall in an awkward place where it's somewhere between a sprint and a distance event. And it's the longest of the sprints, and it's not considered distance. But because it's such a long sprint, it is so particularly exhausting. So it's not a favorite of freestylers. Some good techniques you want to look out for are high elbows when you're stroking out of the pool. And when you're finishing out the freestyle stroke, you want to see hands touching the thigh, actually just grazing the thigh as they're coming up out of the water. That's a perfect stroke if it's ending at the thigh and starting way above your head. As I said before, it's like trying to reach the top shelf without a stool. You know, you're kind of turning your body and you're reaching really, really high and turning your shoulder as a result. So that's the key to good technique. You also like to see people kicking very fast, and you'll see in the second heat people typically have a faster kick than the people in the first heat. And a lot of that has to do with endurance. It takes a lot of strength to be able to kick while stroking, and then you have to watch breathing as well. You can't breathe too much. It will throw off your rhythm, and it can slow you down. The more times you breathe, the more time you're wasting. And you're breaking your torpedo form in the water. It's called streamline. So you're breaking your streamline form. Seems we're having some timing issues or some stuttering issues. Yeah, okay, so it looks like the little beep machine thing that they're using is malfunctioning and it's not working very well. We're not sure why. They might just use a whistle. All right, and everybody looks good starting out. Now let's see who can keep their endurance. But this is a pretty good, it's a pretty healthy pace to start out at 200 free. It looks like Stoney Creek is in first. And as I mentioned before, when I listed all the names, we have in lane 4, in first place for Oxford, Max Charlton in lane 4. He's right behind Stoney Creek. Let's see who's there. Okay, so it looks like Luke Elder from Stoney Creek in lane 5 is leading by almost over a full body length now, 2 body lengths. Now, if you'll notice, he really pulled ahead of lane 4 in the flip turn, and it's because he has a strong flip turn. Now, a flip turn can really make or break a race. When it comes to sprints and short events, well, really in any event, really, because your time adds up. If you have a bad flip turn and it's bad through each turn you take in the distance event, it'll really add up and significantly affect your time. But a good flip turn is a strong one that really, well, how do I describe it? You turn over fast. It's kind of simple, but it's hard in application. All right, I want, ladies and gentlemen, if you can look at lane 4 at the moment. Watch him breathe. Now look, I don't want to criticize swimmers and take away from all the hard work they've done in the season, because Lord knows swimmers work insanely hard. It is not an easy sport, and it's very hard. But I want to use this as an example. In lane 4, every time he breathes, he's breathing every other stroke, and he is turning his head fully out of the water. Now this will come with experience in the water and just more practice. He'll definitely get it because his form is not all that bad. But he's lifting his head out of the water, which is taking away from his stroke. It's costing him time. All the same, Oxford's done pretty well. All right, let's see. The fastest time there was these times can't be right. Okay, there we go. Okay. 2:13 looks like the fastest time. And our record is 2:04. So in a sprint event, that's a long time, 10 seconds. We'll see the second heat and see how they do.
200-yard freestyle, heat number 2, final heat.
See all that white water? That's a lot of energy. It's a lot of propulsion there. Okay, so you see after their flip turn, they typically do 2 to 3 underwater kicks, which helps them go further underwater. But let's get back to the race. So now we're heading into the 75 mark, and lanes 4 and 5 seem to be neck and neck with lane 4 pulling ahead. Now in lane 2, we have Cameron Mumbrew, junior. In lane 4, we have Carson Wolf, freshman. In lane 6, we have Cole Bukowski, sophomore. And in lane 8, Ryan Kuklinski, sophomore. It looks like Carson Wolf is pulling pretty far ahead. Almost a body length and a half now. This is a hard event. You see what I mean about that flip turn? That was a powerful flip turn that he just did. And he's got a pretty solid tempo that's helping him through. now we're in the final 2 lengths. Now he's breathing every other stroke like the one in Heat 1 was doing, but the difference is he's barely moving his mouth out of the wake of the water. So he's not moving his head completely out of the water, just enough so that his mouth can reach, and that is saving him time. That's really improving his technique in the water. A 28:52 is a very fast split for ending your 200 free. It's a good split. 149. That's crazy fast, a 149. Wow. .149 is very, very fast. Just so you guys know, the record on the board is a 143. So he's just 6 seconds away from breaking the record. And in a sprint, again, that's a long time, but still a very fast time. Excellent job to all swimmers. And now we're heading into the 200-yard IM. The IM stands for individual medley. Swimmers will swim all of the strokes in the order of backstroke, breaststroke, backstroke, butterfly, breaststroke, freestyle. Also, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, my voice is a little hoarse. I think I've got a little bit of a sore throat, so I'm sorry if it doesn't really sound good over the microphone. All right, well, I have to apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I mixed up the butterfly and the backstroke. All right, now, if you'll notice, lane 4 did something extraordinary that set him apart from all the other swimmers. He stayed underwater, kicking underwater butterfly kicks much longer than all the other swimmers did, and that that gave him, I think, over a body length lead. That's a lot in a sprint, and again, a 200 is still considered a sprint, so now we're in the backstroke. His form is good. He's turning his shoulders. He's got very good form. This is Mr. Zach Beatty, yes. And he has swam a long time, so you can see his experience. But it looks like, no, that's another Oxford person. That is Nathaniel Johnson, a freshman, right next to him in lane 6. That was a little slow exchange on the wall from the backstroke into the breaststroke. Now in lane 2, we have Zach Allian, a junior. Lane 4, Zach Beatty, sophomore. Lane 6, Nathaniel Johnston, freshman. And in lane 8, Ethan Madison, senior. All right, his breaststroke isn't the best I've seen, but still, he's doing very well. Breaststroke is a very hard stroke, ladies and gentlemen. It is. He's doing a very good job for Oxford. And here we go into the freestyle. You can see his kicking is consistent. Now, I say consistent because it has a constant rhythm. Most swimmers will typically take an unconscious break in their kicking while they turn to stroke. But it looks like Zach's not doing that. He's trained himself not to, and he's kicking throughout the stroke as well, which is really helping him. 29:62. That's a good split. .207 is his time. He is 3 seconds away from the record. 3 seconds away. Because the record is 2:04.14. So, I mean, if you want to be technical, he's a little over 3 seconds away. So far, Oxford is doing very well in this meet. So we'll see how they do. Now we're heading into the 50-yard freestyle. The first 3 out of 4 heats are all exhibition, so they're not going to score any points. So the 50 freestyle is just 2 lengths of the pool freestyle. And it's the shortest sprint that exists. You have people kind of filing up on deck, getting ready for their events. A lot of people are shaking hands, congratulating each other on their races. We've got some very sportsmanlike swimmers here. All right, very good starts by all of them. Here they go. Looks like lane 5 is in the lead. Now this is a predominantly Stoney Creek race. We only have 2 Oxford swimmers in this heat. We have Owen Hillary in lane 5 and Nick Legender in lane 7, both freshmen. And it looks like Owen won. Very good job. That was a 30. That's a good time. And these heats are going to go fast.
50-yard freestyle, heat number 2, heat number 2 of 4, heat 2.
Here we go. And just to repeat, that was an exhibition heat. The next one is also an exhibition heat. So none of these swimmers are competing for points. It looks like they're readjusting the swimmers a little bit. The guy's stance wasn't correct. All right, in lane 3 we have Andrew Cobble. In lane 5, Owen Avey from Oxford. In lane 6, Ethan Pearson, a junior from Oxford. And it looks like lane 5 is in the lead. That's Owen. Owen Avey won. The 28. It's a good time. All right, now we go into heat 3. This is also exhibition. You're going to see this one's going to be even faster. Right, it looks like everyone's somewhat even at the moment. In lane 2, we have Garrett Blaylock, Jr. In lane 3, Paul DeAngelis, Senior. In lane 4, Max Jensen, Jr. In lane 5, Lachlan Palmrose, Senior. In lane 6, Peyton Nagger, Jr. In lane 7, Colby Price, freshman. And in lane 8, Callum Gross, freshman. That was an all-Oxford race except for lane 1. Lane 1 was the only Stoney Creek swimmer in that entire race, and everyone went about a 28. I would say one person got a 30, looks like.
50-yard freestyle, heat number 4,
And here we go in heat 4. This is the final heat. These are going to be very fast. It looks like Carter Pollard's seed time is a 23:32, the fastest seed time of the entire lineup. In lane 1, we have, or lane 2, we have Caleb Watson, Jr. In lane 4, Carter Pollard, Jr. In lane 6, Randy Puff, Jr. In lane 8, Kalen Leone, Sr. Oh, looks like lane 5. Oh, lane 4 and lane 5, so Carter might win this. It's going to be a tie. Oh, nope. Stoney Creek took that one. Ah, man, by 0.14 seconds, Stoney Creek won. But still, Carter Pollard did an excellent job fighting for it. And now we're heading into the diving. So I'm going to pass the microphone off to the diving announcer, and I'll see you guys a little later.
Cooper is diving 301C, reverse dive tuck, difficulty 1.6. Four, 3.5, 4. That one I...
It didn't save 3. It didn't save 3 for diver 1. Judge 3 is 0. So right here you can see when I hit score to save them, it didn't save 3. Judges, what were your scores again? All right, announce it. So we're on diver 2. Right. You just scored diver 2. My board is on diver 2. I know. I don't know how to get rid of it. That's the problem. So if we go over diver,
I can
my board is
see...
on diver 2, so I don't remind it. We can try it. I don't know. Oh wait, hold on. I got it. Okay, try it.
Okay. Good. All right, thanks for your patience. Next diver from Rochester Ishwar is doing a 302C, reverse 1 somersault tuck, difficulty 1.6. Dive's already been scored. You want to override the existing, so she gave it 2.
Okay, hold on. We may have to. Okay.
Can we just write this on the other computer?
No, I think what we're gonna have to do is when we put them in, before you hit like score to move on, we'll have to put them in manually in here. I thought we could do it with double wrong. That was the problem.
Okay, so let's try number 3, and we'll put it manually on here.
But we only got 2 scores for this one.
he got a 2, so she got it written down.
She got it written down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hold on, let me just try and fix it here. Okay, so 3. Natalie, what was your score?
3. She got 2. That scored Michael.
No. All right, write down all the scores you have and fix the end.
Yep. I can do it. No worries.
So, and even though it'll be up there, we'll have to put all 3 in.
Okay, for Michael, and then
Do you know how to add a score from here?
No, just leave this and we'll just make sure this is put in right. But if we have them all written down, if the adding is wrong, we can fix it.
I will make sure they're all written. She's going to ask me.
Okay. And then,
all right, our third diver of the evening, Michael Funk from Oxford. Michael is doing a 301C reverse dive tuck, difficulty 1.6. Five and a half, 4.5, 5.5. Our fourth diver, Evan Cover. Evan is doing a 301C reverse dive tuck, difficulty 1.6. Five and a half, 4.5, 5. So what I'm going to try to do, before we put that one, I'm going to see if I can get it in there. And our fifth diver, Jacob Boris. Jacob is doing a 301C reverse dive tuck, difficulty 1.6. Five, 4, 5. It jumped over Cooper. I tried to manually put it, so it tried something. It didn't work. I tried it again to see if I could manually do it. On this side, it didn't. It just jumped over.
okay.
So we're back to Cooper.
Instead of,
Ishwar, so
it
should be on.
Cooper. It says Cooper.
Yep, it just
Okay.
popped in,
So we want Cooper as our current diver.
set us
Okay.
All right. Great. Moving into our second round, Cooper is doing a 302C, reverse 1 somersault tuck, difficulty 1.6. Five, 4, 4. Next diver, Ishwar, is doing a 102C, forward 1 somersault tuck, difficulty 1.4. One all. Next diver, Michael, is doing a 103B, forward 1.5 somersault pike, difficulty 1.7. 5, 5, 4.5. Next diver, Evan is doing a 103C, forward 1.5 somersault tuck, difficulty 1.6. Four and a half, 5, 5. Next diver, Jacob, is doing a 302C, reverse 1 somersault tuck, difficulty 1.6. Five, 4.5, 4.5. Moving into the third round, Cooper is doing a 103C, forward 1.5 somersault tuck, 4.5 somersault tuck, difficulty 1.6. Four, 3.5, 3.5. Ishwar is doing a 401C, inward dive tuck. Ishwar, yep. Ishwar is doing a 401C, inward dive tuck, difficulty 1.4. Three, 2.5, 3. Michael is doing a 104B, forward 2 somersault pike, difficulty 2.3. Four and a half, 4, 3.5. Evan is doing a 104C, forward 2 somersault tuck, difficulty 2.2. Four and a half, 5, 5. Jacob is doing a 103C, forward 1.5 somersault tuck, difficulty 1.6. Four all. Moving into our fourth round, Cooper is doing a 401C, inward dive tuck, difficulty 1.4. The first two. So it's just the third one in each one that's not. Four, 3, 3.5. Ishwar is doing a 201A, back dive straight, 1.7 difficult. one and a half, 2. Michael is doing a 403C, inward 1 1/2 somersault tuck, difficulty 2.2. 5, 4 1/2, 4 1/2. Next diver, Evan, is doing a 403C, inward 1 1/2 somersault tuck, difficulty 2.2. 4 1/2, all. Jacob is doing a 104C, forward 2 somersault tuck, difficulty 2.2. 4 1/2, 4, 4. Moving into the 5th round, Cooper is doing a 201C, back dive tuck, difficulty 1.5. 4 1/2, 4, 4. Ishwar is doing a 52-11A, back dive half twist straight, difficulty 1.8. 1, 1, 2. Michael is doing a 201C, back dive tuck, difficulty 1.5. 5 1/2, 5 1/2, 6. Evan is doing a 201C, back dive tuck, difficulty 1.5. 5, 6, 6. Diver Jacob is doing a 403C, inward 1 1/2 somersault tuck, difficulty 2.2. 5 5.5, 4.5, 5. Moving into the sixth and final round of diving, Cooper is doing a 51-21D forward 1 somersault, 1/2 twist free, difficulty 1.7. 5.5, 4.5, 3.5. Ishwar is doing a 202C, back 1 somersault tuck, difficulty 1.5. 2, 1, 1/2. Michael is doing a 52-23D, back 1 somersault, 1 1/2 twist free, difficulty 2.3. 4.5, 5, 5. Evan is doing a 52-31D, back 1 1/2 somersault, 1/2 twist free, difficulty 2.1. 4, 4, 5. Jacob is doing a 52-21D, back 1 somersault, 1/2 twist free, difficulty 1.7. 3, 5, 4, 3. Let's give a big hand for all our divers for the evening.
Except for our honoring of our seniors, tonight is our senior night. I'm going to be handing my microphone over to our junior captains, Carter Pollard and Cameron Mubroom. They're going to take over the officiation of the ceremony for me. That is
All right, tonight we will be honoring our seniors. We would first like to recognize our Stoney Creek seniors. Starting off with Drew Blitz, Jack Darnell, Nolan DeSantis, and Sean Gearhan. All right, first to start off our night with our home seniors is JJ Baggins, our first senior captain. JJ's parents' name are Sue and Brad Baggins. He's been on the team for 2 years. He's going to finish his associate's degree at Macomb County. His favorite event is the 100 breasts, and his favorite team memory is jumping into the water with the team after winning league championships. Our second senior of the night is Paul DeAngelis. His parents' name are Nee and Adam DeAngelis. He's been on the team for 4 years. He plans on going to college at Rochester Institute of Technology for animation. His favorite event is the 50 free, and his favorite team memory is receiving the Phenomenon Duck at Swim Banquet.
Our third senior is Kalen Leone, son of Joanne and Daryl Leone. He's been on this team for 4 years. After high school, he's planning to go to college. His favorite event is the 50 free, and his favorite team memory is getting his varsity letter. Our fourth senior is Ethan Madison, son of Tom and Jenny Madison. He's been on this team for 2 years. After high school, he plans to go to Northern Michigan University to study electrical engineering technology. His favorite event is the 200 IM, and his favorite team memory is winning leagues and playing water polo. Our fifth senior is Alex Olheiser, our second senior captain. Son of Sandy and Joseph Olheiser. He's been on the team for 4 years. After high school, he's planning to study education at Central Michigan University. His favorite event is the 100 backstroke, and his favorite team memory is winning leagues twice. And finally, last but certainly not least, Lachlan Stone Overly Palmrose. Son of Cheryl Oberly. He's been on the team for 4 years. After high school, he plans to attend either Michigan or Michigan State University to study finance, public policy, and law. His favorite event is the 100 freestyle, and his favorite team memory are team sleepovers and hair shaving parties. Please give another round of applause for Oxford and Stoney Creek seniors.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we are back into swimming right after diving and the senior night. So now, here we go with one heat of the 100-yard butterfly. In lane 2, we have Zach Allian, Jr. In lane 4, Carson Wolf, freshman. In lane 6, Nolan May, sophomore. And in lane 8, we have Matt Sabadak, sophomore. All right, now the butterfly is extremely hard, ladies and gentlemen, because you can see it takes a lot of upper body strength to pull yourself out of the water. And it looks like lanes 5 and 6 are kind of neck and neck. 4, 5, and 6 are very close. This is an intense race. He's got very good form in lane 4. So Carson Wolf, it's a freshman. Wow, he's a freshman, very good swimmer. We're into their final heat, and he's been keeping a solid pace. Right now, we're still under 1 minute. He might go a sub-minute 100 butterfly. Oh my God. He just went a sub-minute 100 butterfly. That's very hard, very, very hard to do. Now the record is a 54:41. Oh, wow, he is less than half a second away from the record. That's an amazing swim by Carson Wolf. All right, and next we're heading into the 100-yard freestyle. Now there's 3 heats of this. Got people going on deck. All right, in lane 4, we have Owen Hillary, a freshman. And in lane 6, we have Nick Legender, a freshman. Now, we have 3 heats total of the 100 freestyle. And the first 2 are all exhibition. Now, the key to a good freestyle is, again, tempo. In a sprint, you really want to be kicking extremely hard and fast. And your pull needs to be just as fast. And it's imperative that the stroke goes all the way down and you're making a really full stroke. You're not cutting it off. And it's fairly common to see even experienced swimmers cut off their strokes because it takes a lot of strength to do a full stroke. And here we are, they're still swimming. Now, I don't want you to get the wrong idea, gentlemen. These swimmers are still swimming pretty decent times. So these swimmers are still swimming pretty fast. And as you can see, they've done pretty well. In lane 6, they're still working hard trying to finish. All right, and now we're heading into heat 2. In lane 2, well, I'll start announcing the lanes once they actually get started. I want to watch their starts this time. I don't know what's going on, why that person's in the water. Maybe they're cooling down or trying to get to the other side. I'm not really sure what's going on over there, but there's a person in the water at the moment, so they can't start the heat. All right, in lane 2, we have Lachlan Palmrose, senior. In lane 4, Max Jensen, junior. In lane 6, Kaylin Leone, senior. And in lane 8, Gregory Cook, sophomore. All right, now they're in the turn, coming out of the turn. Okay, this is in pretty good form. If you can notice, lane 4 has got a pretty good stroke to what I was talking about, and so does lane 5 for that matter. And it looks like lane 5 has more of a powerful stroke than lane 4, just more muscle mass. And that will definitely help you. You know, if you can, swimming is not about beating the water into submission. It takes a lot of technique, but it also takes a lot of strength. So the more muscle you have, the better. And it looks like Stoney Creek is in the lead at the moment. This man's name is Diego Morales in the front with, it looks like lane 6. It's going to pull a second. No. I was wrong. Okay, lane 2, I think, won second place. No. It's kind of hard to tell who swims what because typically you only watch one swimmer at a time.
Yard freestyle number 3, final heat.
Now this is the final heat of the 100 freestyle. This is not an exhibition heat. These swimmers are swimming for points. Those were some great starts by all of the swimmers. Now these seed times that I'm looking at here are very fast. The fastest seed time is from a swimmer from Stoney Creek with a 50.55 100 freestyle time. It's extremely fast. Now it looks like lane 5 is pulling up in the lead, and that is the one with the fastest seed time. In lane 2, we have Alex Olheiser, senior. In lane 4, Carter Pollard, junior. In lane 6, Ben Datsko, sophomore. And in lane 8, Randy Puff, junior. Oh, it looks like Carson and... No, not Carson. Carter and Evan Miller are neck and neck for first. And lane 3 is pulling ahead. The natatorium is on its feet. We're all screaming. Oh, wow. That was really tight. I don't know who won that one. I think it was maybe lane 5? No, lane 3. Okay, lane 3 according to the scoreboard with a 51. 51.95. That's a very fast time. Congratulations to all swimmers. That was an excellent race. There's some really tough swimmers, and Stoney Creek is going to be tough to beat. I talked to the coach and to the Oxford coach, and she said that she anticipated something close to a tie. Not an actual tie, but just something close to it. Like it's going to be a couple points here or the other way. So both these teams seem to be on equal footing, so every point counts. Now we're heading into the 500-yard freestyle, and as I've mentioned before, this is quite the event for these distance swimmers. You can see the swimmers there are cheering on their friend. This is really a game of strategy, these distance events. It's 20 lengths of the pool, so it takes a lot of endurance. And again, every little bit counts. Like I mentioned before, if small technique things like your breathing pattern, if you're pulling your head too far out of the water, if you're cutting off your stroke, if your turn isn't strong enough, if you're not finishing strong, all these small things really add up time significantly in these distance events because you're making these same mistakes over and over and over and over again. And a tenth of a second there, a tenth of a second there is going to add up and really add some time to your 500. All right, now they're off with the 500. Now lane 4 had a significant, okay, that is Zach Beatty. That is Zach Beatty in lane 4. He had a long underwater kick. He was the one I mentioned before in the 200 IM that really set himself apart from the other swimmers by his underwater kick. If you can do it well, that will really give you the opportunity to get a body length ahead of these guys. Or in Zach Beatty's case, half, and now he's pulling into over a body length now. All right, there's only one heat of this event. In lane 2, we have Cole Bukowski, sophomore. In lane 4, Zach Beatty, sophomore. In lane 6, Nathaniel Johnston, freshman. And in lane 8, Colby Prace, freshman. Now Zach Beatty has got a significant lead here. Definitely the star distance swimmer on the Oxford's team. If you'll notice, he swims with what we call a limp because his left arm comes in a little bit shorter than his right arm. And it's just something that happens in practice. It can be detrimental to a person's stroke, or in Zach Beatty's case, you can overcome that, and, you can make it a part of your distinguished stroke and make up for it. And I can tell you where he does. He makes up for it in his kicking. If you watch his kick, it is so consistent and it doesn't stop when he's taking strokes. If you'll notice, some other swimmers do. And that was something I was very guilty of when I was swimming. It's hard to maintain your stroke and your tempo while you're stroking. It kind of slows it down a little. But not with Zach Beatty. It's a sign of a very experienced swimmer. Now watch his counter at the end. Okay, he's just sticking the number in, which means that Zach has got a pretty good pace. and that he's pacing himself well. The counters, as I've mentioned before in previous meets, if you've ever heard me announce them, and I'm sorry if I'm being repetitive, but the counters can talk to the swimmers in a way to let them know how their pace should be or how to improve on it. Speaking of pace, Zach just picked up his. And I haven't been counting the lengths, but we must be closing in on the 350 yard mark or possibly further. No, not 300 yet. No. I think this right here is the 250 mark. When he turns, I think he'll be going on his 275 right now, I believe. But anyway, back to the counting. So a counter can let their swimmer know if they should slow down their pace or increase it or maintain. If maintaining, you can just tell the swimmer to maintain their pace by just sticking the number in the water without shaking it around. If you shake it fast, that's telling the swimmer to speed it up, and that they're falling behind the other swimmers. And slowing it down, if you want to tell the swimmer to slow down, you swing the counter from side to side in the pool. Slowly, to let the swimmer know you're taking it too fast and you're going to burn out. Now see here the counter is telling him to speed it up a little bit. And it's important for the counter to know. And so you can just see Zach just increased his, he sped up his kicking. But it's important for the counter to know the swimmer because each swimmer's endurance is different. And so the counter knows each swimmer's endurance and will give them notes on their own individually. Now I want to take a moment away from Zach Beatty, who's well in first place, to what seems to be the battle for second in lanes 5 and 6. Now I don't know, lane 7 seems to be, never mind, yeah, lanes 5 and 6 are really neck and neck. They are really fighting for second place. I can tell you from experience, it's very encouraging when you have a swimmer that close to you. It really does motivate. Oh man, they are neck and neck. I'll let you listen to the natatorium just cheering right now because, oh God, who's gonna make it? This is so close. I don't even know who made that one. It looks like, oh, those times have to be off. Yeah, that scoreboard is definitely off. You know, that's why you rely on timers next to each block because the scoreboard is off sometimes. Still have Colby Price swimming his final length in the water, giving it all he's got. I mean, God bless him. He's working so hard. The 500 is not an easy race. And for what it's worth, I mean, that's still a pretty decent pace. He's not, it's not a bad pace, you know, that he's keeping right there. And the whole pool just cheered for him to finish. That's great. Great job to all those swimmers. All right, now we're heading into the 200 freestyle relay. So now you can see the bulkhead is completely populated. It is very packed up there because you got in those relays, it's hard to walk by in the bulkhead. So Oxford's got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 lanes in this next heat. There's only one heat, by the way. And just so you know, the record for the 200 freestyle relay is 129.98, and it looks like our A relay is a 136.68. That is the seed time that I'm looking at here on the heat sheet, and we'll see how they do. And again, like I said, Stoney Creek is very competitive relative to Oxford, so it's going to be neck and neck the whole way through. It'll be great to see what team finally turns out. In their whole season, it looks like the Oxford boys have only lost once, and it was only by 2 points. And they're off at the first 50. Wow. Lane 4 is, wow, all these swimmers are really moving really fast. All right, let's see. In lane 2, we have Oxford C Relay with John Keller, Jr., leading off. Garrett Blaylock, Jr., Austin Foster, Jr., and Paul DeAngelis, Sr. In lane 4, we have Oxford's A Relay with Randy Puff leading off, Jr., Ethan Madison in the water right now, Sr., Zach Allian, Jr., and Evan Covert, Jr. In lane 6, we have Oxford's B Relay with Ben Datsko, sophomore, Peyton Nagar, Jr., Max Jensen, who's diving in the water right now, Jr., and Kaylin Leone, Senior. And finally, in lane 8, we have Oxford's D Relay with Nick Legender, freshman, Gregory Cook, sophomore, and Ethan Pearson, who is diving in right now, I believe, and Owen Hillary, a freshman. Right now it looks like Stoney Creek is in the lead, but we'll see if Oxford in lane 4 can pull back. It's going to be really hard to do. I think, in these sprints, it's really hard to come back from that kind of a distance. But even still, Oxford's given it one heck of a fight. All right, Stoney Creek wins first. Oxford pulls second. It looks like Oxford win third. So that's good. That's good. Even though Stoney Creek won first, Oxford won both second and third. So I think in total, Oxford has more points than Stoney Creek, at least in this event. Oxford's D Relay still in the water, finishing up.
Event of the evening, the 100-yard backstroke. There are 2 heats in this event. This is heat number 1.
And here we go into 2 heats of the 100-yard breaststroke. Here's heat 1. In lane 1, we have Max Charlton, Jr. In lane 2, Andrew Cobble, freshman. In lane 4, Ryan Kuklinski, sophomore. In lane 6, Owen Avey, freshman. And in lane 8, Callum Gross, freshman. Now, all these swimmers are swimming for exhibition, so none of them are swimming for points at the moment. But as someone who has swum exhibition in the past, I can tell you it's just as important as any other race to each of these swimmers because they have a chance to beat their own personal record. And as swimming is an individual sport, it is monumental when you beat your own time, especially in a sprint. Now it looks like lane 5 is in the lead. That's Stoney Creek with Oxford close behind. Yep, in lane 8 we've got second place. And I think Stoney Creek is going to win first and Oxford second and third. Yep, Stony Creek takes first. And Oxford is going to take second, third. Oh no, lane 8 didn't touch the touchpad and finish out his time. So that means his time in lane 8 isn't going to show on the scoreboard. Now, touchpads are very finicky. Especially when you don't touch them. All right, now we have heat 2. These swimmers are all swimming for exhibition. Or for, oh gosh, they're not, all these swimmers are not swimming exhibition. All right, and they're off. All right, in lane 2, we have Caleb Watson. In lane 4, Nolan May. Oh, geez. Caleb Watson is a junior. In lane 4, Nolan May, sophomore. In lane 6, Alex Olheiser, senior. All right, lane 5 has got an excellent, excellent turnover. Watch his stroke. In lane 5 at Stoney Creek, he's in first place. Here you can see how he's turning his whole torso, and he's got a very good tempo, which is really helping him. Looks like Stoney Creek is going to take first again. But again, it looks like Oxford's going to take second and third. That might actually help us in the end. Wow. It looks like he went to 58. And Nolan May, I believe, is in lane 4. With a 101 was his time. All right, but a 58, a sub-minute 100 backstroke is very fast. And now we're heading into 2 heats of the 100-yard breaststroke. Great job, by the way, to all those backstroke swimmers.
11th event of the evening was a 100-yard breaststroke. There'll be 2 heats in this event. The first heat is an all-Oxford event.
All right, this first heat is all Oxford. In lane 3, we have Ethan Madison, senior. Lane 4, Paul DeAngelis, senior. In lane 5, John Keller, junior. And in lane 6, Austin Foster, junior. Now, all these swimmers are swimming for exhibition, but like I said before, it's all about your personal time, making a personal best. It looks like, all right, well, see, lane 4 seems to be winning, and that's great. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but watch his stroke underwater. He's coming out pretty far from the side, and you don't want to go so far out so much as deep. You want to go, when you're stroking, stroke just outside of your shoulder and then snap it up forward. And that snap will force your body out of the water if you're strong enough. Now, it looks like he just, typically right after that third length, you hit a wall and very hard to push through. So it looks like he's hit that wall and he's hurting. Swimming is a hard stroke. I think. So lane 4 takes first and lane 3 takes second. All right, 120. That's still a pretty good time, 120. And here we go now into lane 2.
Number 2, 5
like they're readjusting because looks like a swimmer maybe didn't have the right stance on the block. Or they were just, no. I was mistaken. No, they're just not ready. There we go. Here, heat 2 of 2 of the 100 breaststroke. All right, in lane 2, we have Matt Sabadak, sophomore. In lane 4, Ben Datsko, sophomore. In lane 6, Cameron Mumbrew, junior. And in lane 8, Peyton Nagger, junior. Now I'm looking at these seed times, and ladies and gentlemen, I am seeing some pretty fast times. The fastest one being from Ben Datsko, a sophomore. He's got a 1:01 seed time, and he's the one far ahead. Now look at his stroke. Like I said, he's not going so far out, but he's taking it in just outside the shoulder, and he's snapping it forward, like there. And it's bringing him up. Now, breaststroke is a hard stroke to get right, just because the kick is a little strange. It doesn't feel natural. And it's hard to get and to be able to do powerfully. It only comes with practice. Breaststroke is, I think, the slowest of all the strokes. Like, even Michael Phelps, of all the strokes, I think breaststroke is the slowest stroke. All right, now we're heading into our final event, the 400 freestyle relay. This is always the most intense of all the events because this is the one that typically calls the very tight races. This meet is tight between Stoney Creek and Oxford, so I don't know how many points ahead or behind we are, but this race will definitely make a difference. It's always easy to get disqualified here in your exchanges because if a swimmer accidentally jumps off that block without the swimmer in the water touching the touchpad first, it's a disqualification. All right, in lane 2, we have Oxford C Relay with Colby Price leading off as a freshman. Max Jensen, junior. Lachlan Palmrose, senior. Caleb Watson, junior. All right, in lane 4, we have Oxford's A Relay with Cole Bukowski leading off right now as a sophomore. Carter Pollard going second, junior. Zach Beatty going third, sophomore. And Carson Wolf as the anchor, as a freshman. In lane 6, we have Oxford's B Relay with Randy Puff in the water right now, junior. Nathaniel Johnston going second, freshman. Nolan May going third, sophomore, and the anchor is Alex Olheiser, senior. And lane 8, we have Oxford's D Relay. In the water right now is Andrew Cobble, freshman. Going second is Callum Gross, freshman. In lane 3, going third in the D Relay, we have Owen Avey, freshman. And we have Ryan Kuklinski as the anchor, as a sophomore. So it looks like Stoney Creek has got a significant lead at the moment. But Carter Pollard in the water right now. He's heading into his second 50. Now he's got a very powerful kick here and some very fast strokes. This is going to be a hard race to win. I think Stoney Creek is going to take first, rather. Typically, in sprints, it's impossible to make up these kinds of leads unless the one ahead has a very significant lead. All right, right now we have Zach Beatty in the water in Oxford's A Relay in lane 4. Wow, again, just like in the race with Birmingham, he is catching up to Stoney Creek in the lead. It looks like Zach Beatty is Oxford's relay's secret weapon. They keep, every single time he's out, look how close. Look at that. That is not something you see every day. Like I said, a lead like that's very hard to catch up to. So the fact that Zach even caught up is amazing. Now let's see Carson Wolf. He's a freshman. Let's see if he can make it happen. All right, now he's giving it all he's got. He's got a great form, and it looks like he's pulling ahead. If he can maintain this. Oh, but it looks like Stoney Creek just got ahead just a little with his turn. I think Stoney Creek, the anchor for Stoney Creek right now, has got a better flip turn than, I don't know if you caught that. I don't know if the camera caught that, but I think Oxford is now going to win. The anchor for Stoney Creek in lane 5, in that turn, he smacked his leg against the bulkhead. That really hurts. I've done that before. And Oxford wins. Wow. An incredible finish. Stoney Creek takes second. Kudos to him for finishing. I mean, that was not easy. He flipped and misjudged how far away the wall was. Look, you can see him kind of grabbing his foot right now. He's like, oh, gosh, that hurts. Because you're flipping around with force. You know, it's not just a kind of a lazy turn somersault in the water. You are flipping hard, and when you smack your leg against that bulkhead, oh gosh, it hurts. So great job to Stoney Creek. Great job to Oxford, Zach Beatty and Carson Wolf for pulling in that lead. Oxford's relays really are great. Now, they went a 3:26:37 is the Oxford A relay time, and the varsity record is 3:21:54. That's amazing. That's incredibly fast. So these guys have got a real great team on their hands. So now they've just finished the 400 freestyle relay. All right, now they're going to be discussing the scores, and I will get back with you guys soon as they announce them.
Stoney Creek with a score of 78 and Oxford with a score of 107. Congratulations to all our swimmers and divers.
What an excellent swim by Oxford's team. To Oxford, I congratulate you. That's amazing. Your final home meet, and you won it by a lot. 78 to 101, I believe. That's an incredible swim. So this is Rachel Baker signing off, and I'd like to thank the cameraman, Lori Raz. Thanks for watching.